With us now for more on this historic jackpot is Gordon Medenica. He's the lead director of Mega Millions and director of Maryland's Lottery and Gaming Control Agency. Good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be here.
I bet.
This is what we live for.
Yeah, for sure. So what are the odds of winning a jackpot like this? Because I don't know if the people...
Are we really going to start with that?
Well,
Just bring everyone down?
Here's the thing. Well, I'm like cynical. It's sort of like the jackpot has gone up in the time that I've grown up to be an adult when these lotteries first started becoming really big, because the odds have gotten worse. You have more numbers now to choose from. So yes, it's a big jackpot, but it's harder to win.
Well, our players have told us very clearly that they love big jackpots, and so we have made some changes to the game that make the jackpots bigger. And at the same time, we made it actually easier to win that second prize, which is $1 million. So nothing to sneeze at there either.
Yeah, I would take that. So what sort of changes have been made? Because these jackpots they're like nowhere else in the world, really.
Well, 2.5 years ago, we had Powerball at about the same level. And Powerball had made some of these changes as well a few years before that. And so Mega Millions really did some things that made it pretty similar to Powerball. Obviously, the price went from $1 to $2. The odds got a little bit longer on the jackpot and a little bit better on the $1 million prize.
So what
people don't mind because they're forking out those $2.
So what do the states do with the money that they raise from these lotteries?
Most states dedicate it to education, but it varies, and it's state by state. For example, in Colorado, it's the environment. In Massachusetts, it's cities and towns. Pennsylvania, it's old age programs. But for the most part, it's education related.
I stumbled on a website that allowed international buyers to purchase tickets from anywhere in the world, basically. Do you know anything about that? I mean, has that changed the game a bit?
Well, that's a lot of those are pretty dangerous sites, and we would warn people away from that. There are only 6 states in the country that actually sell their lottery tickets online, but it's only for people within those states. So I would say buyer beware on some of those international. Some of them are borderline scams.
Oh, that's so interesting. Your job is very interesting. I imagine around this time you get a lot of people asking you questions, a lot of people, I don't know, maybe wanting to know a little bit about the machine and how it works. I mean, what sort of questions do people approach you with?
Well, everybody wants to know what the winning numbers are.
Right.
and I'll tell them, but I'll say, look, I don't know when they'll show up, but they'll happen someday.
Yeah. So how often are the machines updated? I guess I don't know anything about the machines. I mean, there's this magical...
There's a whole process, too.
Yeah.
We have multiple machines, multiple ball sets. There are pre-tests before the drawing. There are post-tests after the drawing. Auditors are present. It's an incredibly secure system.
Why do you have to come forward in some of these states? I mean, I think a lot of people would prefer just to get their money and tiptoe away. They don't want any new relatives.
Interestingly, there are 6 states where you're allowed to be anonymous. In fact, my state, Maryland, is one of them. But for the most part, I think the history of lotteries has been one about transparency and making sure that people know that real people do win these prizes. And if it's anonymous and hidden, people get skeptical. People are skeptical about the government anyway. So this is a way to be forthright, transparent, and show all the security and the integrity that we have.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Are you going to play?
I'm not allowed to. That's part of the deal.
All right, that's part of the deal.
He's got a great job, but he can't play.
But your family can, right?
Not
your
my
immediate
household,
family.
not
So
my
it's like your
immediate
third and
family.
fourth cousins.
Yep.
And whoever wins is going to have a new set of third and fourth cousins, I'm
exactly
sure.
Right.
Gordon Medenica, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.